All right, part two. So last summer I did a what do I pack for an adventure in the mountains, and I went up to Mount Evans, and that was in August. So I used the Ultraspire Alpha 4.0. They've since upgraded it with some more pockets, and now I'm going to show you kind of a different side of it. Is I'm going to go play in the mountains. I'm going a little bit farther than that particular trip. But it's October and it's been snowing up high this week. So we're gonna pack some things a lot differently when we go up high in the snow. And then I'm also bringing my dog. Because it's end of season, water is a lot more scarce at high country. I know only for sure of one flowing water spot that is 3 miles in on this trip, which is, really early for refilling water. So I'm carrying 3.5 liters to start. I'll top off at that water spot. So it looks like I'm carrying a lot of water, but I do have a dog with me, so that's even more water. And there should be one other spot that has water later on. So I'm using the Ultraspire Epic XT. This is the old model. The new model has some really sweet upgrades, including bigger hip pockets and a larger hip webbing. Those are like the two biggest features. Anyway, this pack starts with, it has an insulated bladder sleeve. So I already put my bladder in. It's got an insulated sleeve, and if you watch part 1, I talked about how I keep my water from freezing. All right, I always start by packing the bottom of my pack. The bottom of my pack is usually my emergency equipment. So this is stuff I hope to God I never have to use, but if I have it, it's there, and it goes at the bottom because if I'm stopping that long for that kind of emergency, I'm taking my pack off and digging to the bottom anyway. So it doesn't matter to me if that's all the way at the bottom. The first thing I'm gonna pack is a synthetic down blanket. It's, I'm carrying a synthetic one. One, because it's dirt cheap and I really don't care what happens to it. 2, synthetic, if it gets wet, still works as an insulator, whereas down, once it's wet, it does not insulate worth crap. So this is like one of those pack into itself blankets, works as a pillow. It is going all the way at the bottom. It can, if I were to get cold at the summit, that particular one actually can be a poncho, which is kind of cool. Use it for my kid a lot. Because I'm traveling with my dog, instead of just carrying an emergency, Mylar blanket bivvy, I'm actually bringing an actual bivvy. This is a 4-season bivvy, reusable, not an emergency bivvy, like a legit bivvy. This is a 4-season bivvy. My dog and I can hide in here, snuggle up. If we have to make shelter, we will be fine. So that will also, it's kind of going to go out the side because of its elongated shape, but that is fine. And also towards the bottom. From here, I get to be kind of a little more picky. A lot of this stuff I'm carrying, I'm gonna wear like really early on and then take off. So what I'll do is I will pack it and then take it back out. And the reason I do that is to make sure I've left enough room that when I strip layers, once I've warmed up, that I actually have room in my pack to put it. Seen people like they go to strip a layer and they're like, fuck, I don't have a place to put it. So next thing to the bottom, this is my personal first aid kit. It's small, and it's small because you don't want to use it, but this has everything I need to take care of blisters, chafing, and then heaven forbid there's a serious emergency, I should be able to keep myself or whoever I'm helping alive until further emergency personnel goes. This is not going to, in and of itself, magically save somebody's life. Like if there's a serious, true emergency, you're calling for help. That said, it can often take 8+ hours to get search and rescue up on a mountain. So that shoves at the bottom. I hope I don't need it. Hot hands. So I will leave out a couple of these. Let's see. Probably just need like 2 for starts, and I'll keep my my filter and my water bottle from freezing. And there are other ones I will stick in here. There's a like waterproof kind of pocket in here towards the back that's also at the top, kind of easy to dig out if I need, and I'll put them in there. Dry socks, I keep these in a low sack bag. It is pointless to bring dry socks if you don't also bring something to dry your feet off. So I also have a Sea to Summit just like pack towel in here. This is squishable. Again, if I'm needing to change my socks, I have to stop, take my pack off, sit down, take my shoes off. It's a process, so if this goes to the bottom of the pack and I have to dig for it, I don't really care. I wear exoskin socks, and I have never needed to change them, even though I always carry an extra pair. I've never needed it. So I feel pretty confident in putting those towards the bottom. Fresh snow, it's doing, it's kind of like springtime in the fall here where it snows, it melts, it snows, it melts. So it can get pretty slick and icy. These are my spikes. I'm using Catula Exo spikes, and I will just shove those on the side pocket here so I can access them when I am ready. They'll be fine right there, not going anywhere. My other side pocket will hold my water bottle in its, you know, cozy sock. I'll tip it upside down tomorrow after I've driven up elevation and like stuffed my hot hand in there. So what I'll do for now though is I'll keep my hot hands just kind of in his pocket, and then right before I head up, I'll open those hot hands and actually stick them in where they belong. Oh, I have an extra hair tie in here. Hey, cool. Hair ties are also always a good thing to have on hand. Up here in this top little pocket, I'm actually going to put something I hope I don't need. So I have severe asthma. I carry a portable nebulizer. I'm working right now really hard to slow down and just simply not need it, but I always carry it. It'd be really dumb for me not to. I've needed it in many cases, so that'll go there. This is a, you know, waterproof little pocket, and it will stay dry there. It'll stay warm because there'll be enough other stuff in here that I'm not worried about the battery tomorrow because it's not gonna be that cold. All right, now we have to get to the fun part. I am bringing a water-resistant windbreaker. My windbreaker is a little bit better at blocking the wind than my true rain jacket, and it's not really supposed to storm or snow or anything tomorrow. So this will go in the outer pocket, just kind of stuffed at the bottom so that when I'm ready to access it, I can. And then I'm also bringing a sit pad because I'm just really sick of freezing my knees and my butt off sitting. So I've decided that I carry a sit pad now. And I can also just, it'll go wherever it kind of fits on the outside, probably just in that same pocket so it's not bouncing around, sliding around. Up top has a little key spot, but actually what I like is this top pocket, I can like sit back here and unzip. So I keep like my mittens, things that might be like on off a lot, I will keep. So my extra gloves, these are waterproof cross-country ski mittens, and they are the best. If you can't keep your hands warm, I seriously recommend like a lightweight wool liner glove inside some cross-country ski mittens. Your hands will never freeze again. And then two, also when it does get like below zero, I just stuff a hand warmer in between the two layers. Literally life-saving. I never use those. However, I will start my favorite running piece of gear, crag gloves. These are full finger crag gloves. In the summer I use half finger crag gloves. These are pretty warm, the full finger ones. They're leather on one side. Knuckle is padded. I've cut my finger a few times. Actually that August trip that I did, I cut my finger. And these have since then become my favorite non-running running gear. It also helps me prevent from getting blisters in my hand from using poles. And then it's just like you're not getting windburned and sunburned and all that kind of stuff. So that is my favorite non-running gear, piece of running gear that I carry like pretty much all the time now. I'm carrying tomorrow, I'm starting really super early. I'm going to test out my new Ultraspire 800 Lumen Ultra Light. It's a waist lamp. I've never used this one, so I'm super excited to give it a try. And I carry a bag. Once I'm done with it, I'll just shove it in the bag and throw it in here. I know I'm going to need that first off in the morning, so I'm not really going to shove it in here. It's pretty small. I will wear my Tifosi sunglasses. So last summer, I also injured my eye up on Mount Sherman. Ever since then, I wear wraparounds. The reason I injured my eye was because I took my sunglasses off when it got dark, and the wind doesn't stop because it gets dark. So these are photochromatic, and they get really, really light, so you can still wear them and see in the dark. And then as it lights up, they get darker to full sunglasses. Again, I will wear those from the get-go. Visor, also wearing from the get-go. And then I'm carrying like an ear wool band. It's really lightweight. I'll probably wear that most of the day. And then I'll also have a beanie for when it's really cold, like up on the summits. And I'm carrying my Ultraspire buff to cover up my mouth, not because of COVID, but because I don't like to freeze my breath off. It can also trigger an asthma attack. So that's something that I'll probably just start the day off with again. So from here, I carry a compass. A lot of times I'm carrying a paper map too. In this case, I'm not carrying a paper map. I've got the map committed to my phone and my memory, but I am carrying a compass because part of where I'm going is going to require either backtracking or trail route finding. There's not marked trails where I'm going tomorrow for a lot of it. So I'll carry the compass on the off chance I get lost. And yes, my watch has a compass, but you know, battery powered technology can fail. This compass will not fail. It's magnetic. I don't want my filter to freeze, so I'm sticking it in that big waterproof pocket, and I will put a hand warmer by it as needed as well to keep that from freezing. Because I'm also route finding, I decided I'm going to carry some binoculars. They're pretty small, really tiny, and they also come with just a lens cleaner, which is great for your sunglasses too if you ever like get them soaked. I learned that during a race, like I really needed lens cleaners. And just, it will make route finding easier if you can see detail farther, and then you can plan out your route a lot farther. So again, I'm not really like planning to need that, so they're there, and I hope I just don't need them. So next thing I'm gonna go down is, it's winter time. If you get caught in the winter and you're out of water, you can't just eat snow. You have to actually melt it. Otherwise you spend more energy warming the snow up to a level your body can absorb it. So you actually really have to melt snow if you don't want to become hypothermic or severely dehydrated. So I carry a stove. I've got fuel, a lighter, carry a spoon and fork in case. Sometimes I'll carry oatmeal or something as an emergency food. I'm not really doing that this time, but I will stuff my stove and my pot system down in here. I have more room. There we go. Fork, you know, because you never know. I mean, if it breaks, whatever, it breaks. It's no big deal. The other emergency thing that I carry, if your hands get freezing, for some reason you lose a glove, whatever, mechanics gloves, you'll be sweaty, but you will definitely be warm. Those are like the best emergency. All right, so now pretty much like the back is pretty close to full. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stuff my down in here to make sure that I have room for it. And like I said, I will take my down out again when I actually start in the morning, because I will wear it for starts. Down is usually the one thing that I'm like in, out, always grabbing. And cool, that pretty much sums up that space. I have my gloves, my mittens. For now, I'm gonna throw my headphones up here. I'm using the, oh gosh, Aftershok's Aeropets, I think is what they are. The mini ones. I'll shove those up there. I probably won't use them tomorrow, but I like to carry them just in case. They don't work in the window. If it's gonna be windy, you gotta cover up. Okay, so pockets on the front. This is my all-time favorite thing because this is where I stuff all the goodies. I mean, tomorrow's really just an eating contest. I don't have my inReach, so I need to go find my inReach, make sure it's charged, and it will go. I'll hook it on here somewhere probably. There's two kind of like zip pockets. I always use one for medication, eye drops, that kind of thing. So I carry eye drops, especially wearing contacts. Sunscreen, chapstick is a brand new one, just to make sure it's open. I carry any medications I need for asthma, like oral medications in there, and I'll throw in chewing gum, salt tabs, and my friend suggested trying like cough drops to help like open up the airway and keep your throat from being so dry, especially with the dry air here in Colorado, combined with like asthma meds, can really give you like cotton mouth. So trying not to overdrink is actually a bigger problem. So I brought like a few of those to try. I've never used them before, but hey, why not try them? And salt, super important stuff. So that covers that pocket. This pocket right here is waterproof, zipper. My phone will go in here. When it's really cold, I'll also throw a hand warmer in to keep my phone from freezing. My friend John is making these super awesome insulated phone cases, and I'm just like hurrying up. They're just going to production, and I'm super excited for those to be ready. So pretty much the rest of my food, I'm gonna finagle through these front pockets. Sometimes it takes me a couple tries because I tend to carry a lot of real food. So like, yeah, I have gels, but I have two. I have gels. I do have some blocks because I really like sucking on those. I do carry honey stinger waffles. I'm trying the new cookies and cream flavor. I've heard it tastes like Oreos. I'm super excited about that. I love to carry applesauce pouches. My kid gets mad at me when I steal them, so, you know. And then they're called Happy Kid, but they come in like 2 different like fruit flavors. They're like the snack packs. They're small fruits about the same size as applesauce. I really like those. I make peanut butter and maple syrup sandwiches. I put them in halves so I can carry them. I kind of just was at the grocery store. I'm like, hey, Snickers sounds good. So this is like the one that has 2, so 2 little bars. I have a small packet of frosting. I've got 2 different types of trail mix. I have some scratch with me, which I'll mix into my individual bottle as needed. I have, this tube is filled with honey from my neighbor. It's the best honey in the world. I've got some gummy bears. I've got some, what does this say? Hazelnut almond butter with chocolate. So it's like Nutella, essentially, in an individual packet. Goldfish. I'm trying to like split up the sweet. I like goldfish, something crunchy too and salty. And then I have jerky. Now, this looks like a lot of jerky for one person, but it's also for my dog. So I have regular dog treats, and then he loves this jerky. So it's like our shared snack that we'll both eat. And my goal tomorrow is to eat all of this, which will actually be a really like hard challenge for me. But this is only about almost 2,000 calories roughly. So like I could go for another 1,000 calories if I wanted, but it's not really that many calories when you add everything up. So my goal is to eat all of this. Oh, and then I will stuff, this has obviously been opened before, an emergency blanket. I have the bivy, but an emergency blanket you can also like wrap around you if you get windy and cold, or like you sit just like super short. So it used to be something I just shoved at the bottom of my pack. I'm like, hope I never need it, never get it out. But I've learned like since then is like, hey, like have this maybe closer to the top so that when you're standing on the summit freezing, but you're not going to be there very long, just open it up, wrap yourself around it, warm up for a minute, and then you're good to go. Like literally you can just stuff it. It's Mylar. It's, you know, it's pretty hard to rip. It'll hold up pretty well. You can use it as a tarp and make shelter if you know how. It's got a lot of great uses, so I always carry one, especially with my dog. And then he's carrying, so like I'll finish packing that in a few minutes. And I'll put my road ID on it. Since it's going to be cooler and he hasn't done like a ton of high altitude stuff lately, I'm just going to have him carry a small pack. So he's a poodle. So when he's fluffy, he's super warm in the winter and it's great. But right now he's like fresh cut, so he's kind of thin. So he's going to wear a lightweight jacket. It's water resistant on the top, and then it's just lightly fleece lined. And he's worn this for, God, like 5 years. Still one thing. Rough wear is my go-to for pretty much everything. This is a really crappy portable dog bowl, but in the instance I need to pour him water because he's refusing to drink from my bladder, I have it. Doggy first aid kit is always necessary. I carry extra gauze, vet wrap, wipes to clean something off, and then a triple antibiotic, dog safe salve, and it's just in an old contacts case. That's enough for like 1 or 2 cuts. Anything more than that, he's got to get off the mountain anyway. Rec specs. If you've ever seen those awesome pictures, these are new to him, but I don't want his eye getting damaged like mine did either. So he's gonna wear these tomorrow, especially in the high winds, especially if we go up somewhere rocky or dusty. Like it just, you want to protect your dog's eyes too. I always carry a Final Pro airlift. This is on the heaven forbid he gets injured and he's carried out. It's a dog harness to safety carry him out. Fido Pro is the only brand I'm aware of that actually makes one that's like certified by vets. Jerky for the dog. Somewhere in here is like poop bags. Yep, here they are. I'll throw a leash in here too. It's just in the car. And then because there is snow, he's actually going to wear his winter boots tomorrow, and his socks are in the wash. But these are rough wear. I love rough wear because they actually use Vibram soles. These are the Polar Treks, which have like a little gator. So they Velcro on like most dog booties do. They have a little gator to help keep snow out. And then they use the Vibram like ice grip stuff. So since there is fresh snow and it's melting and refreezing, this will be the best boot for him. He also has Summit Treks, which we'll use more in the summer. So that pretty much sums it up. I'll have my poles with me. I don't really plan to pack them because I'm pretty much going to use them the entire time tomorrow. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sums it up. Happy adventures.